is way too warm out here this week, and that creates problems for the sheep. When it freezes at night and then it melts in the morning and there's a nice little layer of water over top of the ice, it's about as slippery as it can be. And it's important that the sheep don't slip, especially when they're pregnant. It becomes such a risk for them to miscarry or injure themselves or anything. I'm gonna vaccinate some sheep later today, and it's just gonna be as gentle and smooth of a move as we can make it, because I have to bring them all up from a lower pen up into the handling system. I'll do that this afternoon. Come on, see the gate. So I give everything a clostridial vaccine 6 weeks before lambing, then 2 weeks follow-up. This is my March group. They're due to start first week of March. Smaller group, but we're about 6 weeks away from there now. It's a nice day, so the needles won't freeze solid, and we should have a good time of vaccinating. And after they're done, they'll get moved down to a lower pen by the road, bring the February group up, and I'll put them in an outside pen right next to the barn, and then as soon as I start seeing baby lambs born, I'll move them inside.
I'm needing sheep. I'm needing sheep. I'm needing sheep. I'm needing sheep.
Come on, guys, you know where you're going. This is the February group. They're due to start here any day.
To me?
We had one issue here where there's a big puddle of water in the crowding tub. The sheep don't like going in water. They don't like water and they don't like darkness. We filled it with straw and that seemed to be helping. It's not really a problem we have here in the middle of January, but we're making do. Finished vaccinating my February group now, and I'm gonna keep them in a pen right next to the barn. So if they start having babies, it's easy to just run them in and then I'll put them all in. I'm gonna spend a couple days getting this other outside pen ready. I was kind of hoping there'd be a little bit more snow here to slide the sheds around and stuff. It makes things just go a lot easier if it's sliding on snow, but it's all disappearing faster than I can blink. I don't remember this happening in the middle of January. So I guess we'll just make do.
Stubborn. She just wants over there so bad.
Nope. Yep. Out of fresh triplets. Pretty nice morning once again. They're supposed to call for some snow here on Sunday, so I'm trying to get everything out of the barn before then. There's a weather event coming up around the time that I want to move sheep in or out of an area. I want to make sure that they get into where they're going all settled. So in this case, the lambs are coming out of the barn into a big pen outside. They've never been outside in their life. That's a lot of stress. So if I can get them settled in before the snow comes, it's better than kicking them outside into a snowstorm. There's nothing really I can do about the timing of it because the February group's due to start here. So I'm just going to swap everyone around in the barn, start over again. So I'm gonna move these wooden sheds out, and I gotta take these bunks out to do it. So that's gonna be a really tight fit for the new sheds. I was really counting on it not being muddy. Usually it's frozen and there's a nice ice pack to do this stuff on. So the risk is I'm gonna tear the sheds apart, but I don't really have an option because I need the sheep out of the barn and I need those new sheds in here. So these bunks I never tied down because I knew I was gonna do this, and I've kind of discovered the sheep don't move the bunks. They're pretty heavy. So we'll get them out of the way and see if this works. I measured the fence post where we're going, and I think I might have to cut the fence post off. Kind of afraid of that, but that fence needs to change anyway, so. Well, I'm definitely not gonna make it, so I'll have to deal with this post now. The shed won't fit through the gate here, so I'm just gonna cut it off and then somehow temporarily secure it just so it keeps coyotes out still. This time I buy budget saw blades. Good. The way the feed bunks sit here, that creates this dip. So this edge of the shed is digging in, it's not letting it pivot. So I'm gonna put a jackal under it and put a post on it so it slides better. Looks good in there. Now I'm just gonna pull these wooden sheds out of there. Then I'm gonna get new siding on them, get them sold as soon as I can here, hopefully. Just kind of testing how strong these are. I'll pick up one end and shove it over. Hopefully I don't bend them. How else are you gonna improve a product if you don't test its limits, right? So my objective is I want these so I can pull them right off the manure, pile the manure, slide them right back. So I don't want to have to twist or turn them ever. And I want the angle so the sun hits it, it's protected from the bales, from the wind, so it doesn't flip over. And then I'm gonna put the other one right in line. So the other one goes straight up the hill, and this one can kind of go a bit to the north. Well, I didn't foresee this problem. A lot of these things would be solved if everything was still snow. Problem solved. Well, we got them in place. I've kind of learned here now that when the bunks are back in place here, I'm gonna have a problem where I'm not gonna be able to pull the shed far enough off the manure pile, so I'm gonna have to move the bunks either way. They're big sheds, it's a pretty small pen for them, but that's a lot of shed space for some lambs. Even still, I think we're gonna have problems when the wind comes. As long as the ewes are with them to keep them warm without smothering them, key is to not overcrowd things and not to put too many sheep in here. I think we'll be okay. I feel a lot better about these than I did those 3 wooden sheds. I'm gonna brace this post back together. All right, that's not awesome, but it'll hold. Something that's really important when you're doing things like this, you don't leave a gap overnight. If a coyote gets a chance to run in, you will never have an end of issues. This is my main sheep pen, and there's no dogs in here for most of the year. This is where I feed plot everything. Fence is nice and tall, and there's actually chicken wire buried in the ground so nothing can dig under it. I haven't had any issues. A gate has never been left open. But if you stay on top of things, you don't give coyotes a chance to come in, then you shouldn't have problems. For now, this worked exactly as I hoped it would. Got the sheds in place, got the fence back up. Now I'm gonna start feeding. Thanks for watching.